Lee, thank you for that. And the season now over for the Jaguars. Chris Porter here with me on this noon hour. Some highs, some lows this season, right? But I think overall, there's a lot to be proud of. And that's just my humble opinion.
No, you're actually correct. I mean, if anyone had said a year ago that this team would win 13 games, the AFC South Division, and make the playoffs, and Trevor would look elite, we'd say, we'd take it. But you know, in a press conference today, Jackson, we talked about several things. Rookies, they talked about injuries, they talked about the future, and in particular, this man, Travis Hunter, who they traded up for and drafted number 2 overall in the 2025 NFL Draft out of Colorado. And he's truly the one everyone wants to know how he's doing. What's the plan for him next season? The Jags gave a lot to get him and made it clear that he would be a two-way player then. And according to their general manager, James Gladstone, that's still the plan today. First, Gladstone said Hunter's rehab is going as expected. Hunter has been hitting it hard and still brings the joy to the building like he did day one. Now, Gladstone said he expects Hunter to play on both sides of the ball because they are having some expiring contracts at the corner. By default, you can expect there to be a higher emphasis on him being placed there. Now, before Hunter went down with the season-ending injury and that Week 7 loss to the Los Angeles Rams, he had put together his best game of the season at receiver, and Gladstone said the plan after that was to increase his role in the offense. But once healthy, they are ready to see what Hunter will be able to do in 2026.
The steps that he was taking by the midpoint of the season really made us feel good about what the back half of the year was going to be on both sides of the ball and what that impact was going to look like, being a feature point on offense and an impact player on defense. It was just disappointing timing, but nonetheless feel good about where we are heading into this offseason and what next year should hold.
I'm really excited about getting back to work with Travis and continue that evolution and see what that looks like. And I'm going to take a few of these weeks here to look at that schedule and see what any of those changes or adaptations we may need to make.
When Liam Cohen was asked about whether he views Travis Hunter as a number 1 receiver, he said he never looks at anyone as a 1, 2, or 3. Cohen went on to say for Hunter right now, it's all about getting his rehab right and getting him locked in mentally because of some of the limitations they'll have during the offseason program. Cohen says he's excited to get back to working with Travis and continuing that evolution. He also plans to take a few weeks and see what they would do as far as figuring out the changes or the adaptations that they'll need to make to Hunter's schedule. Now, the Jaguars, without question, are not in the same position they were at least this time last year. We continue our live team coverage with Rachel Phillips, who's outside of Everbank Stadium. And Rachel, the good news at least is that Liam's coaching staff is in place this year versus last.
Hey Chris, yeah, the overall feeling from both General Manager James Gladstone and Head Coach Liam Cohen is they're proud of this team and this first-year staff, which includes both of them and what they were able to do with that 13-win season, the division title, but ultimately it wasn't enough. And now it's about going back, assessing what went right, what wasn't up to scratch, and how they can build off of this year, something they are both excited to do, especially with some more time under their belts this time around.
As I think back to where we were this time last year, shoot, Liam was probably just embarking on the interview process. I wasn't even considering it as an option. There were plenty of people in Jacksonville that had never heard my name, and I think the fact that we got a longer runway right here is going to be a luxury. Being able to talk through and engineer what this football team looks like moving forward and where our points of emphasis need to be is certainly something we're having those early discussions around.
And look, a lot of those conversations on hold now for a little bit with the coaching staff, not expected back in the building until around mid-February. And look, you got to wonder if all of Liam Cohen's coaching staff will actually be back. As we reported, OC Grant Udinski is set to interview with the Cleveland Browns and their head coaching position. And just today, it was announced that DC Anthony Campanelli is set to interview with the Miami Dolphins for their head coaching position. Liam Cohen told us today that both of those guys have earned those opportunities and will be head coaches in this league at some point. He doesn't know if that's now, but said, look, this team has to prepare for any possibility. Now reporting live from outside Everbank Stadium, I'm Rachel Phillips, First Coast Sports.
Thank you, Rachel. No doubt when your team wins, they want to take your coaches. Now our live team coverage continues tonight on First Coast News at 5. Hear how the Jags top brass emphasized to the players that while they're extremely proud of them, they can't expect the success from this season to automatically carry over to the next. That's tonight, all new starting at 5.